boost my confidence. My cocaine, my heart desire, give me nothingness. I know they're tired, 'cause you give me ginger, all the diamonds. You're my true lover, my mommy water, give me happiness. Holy Ghost fire, supernatural, boost my confidence. My cocaine, my heart desire, give me nothingness. I know they're tired, 'cause you give me ginger, all the diamonds. You're my true lover, my mommy water, give me happiness. Tensions on the sofa, my nigga. Stop drinking, babe. Tequila done hits me for leaving. Estoy tan indica, este sativa. Anytime that I smoke, this girl's been looking like wife materials. Is it this or that? If I see it, I'll find how I feel inside. I will let you know I am super high. I can feel my eyes. They say love is blind, but I can't see you. The fantasy, 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 the fantasy. Holy Ghost fire, supernatural, boost my confidence. My cocaine, my heart desire, give me nothingness. I know they're tired, 'cause you give me ginger, all the diamonds. You're my true lover, my mommy water, give me happiness.
It's looking interesting. We got some news coming up today. Just checking out the charts.
I'm in some sells, still holding. Caught some higher entries on this guy. Want to see if I can squeeze out maybe in the next hour. News comes up in an hour. If you're in my inner circle, we're live on YouTube right now. We're public. Hope everyone's doing well. Good morning. Type in the chat if you guys can hear me. We've been getting busy. What's good? We're about to get the session started for the morning. News comes out in about an hour. We're going to keep an eye on it. Those of you guys inside my inner circle, I ran down a chart last night and earlier this morning, talking about a potential sell zone for gold. 3170, 3175. This is last night. I streamed last night too. Talked about some different things last night that I'm going to do some training on today as well. We'll probably be on for a couple hours today since we got like news coming up in an hour. See how that goes. And then I'll do some training, some lessons here throughout the morning. But anyone who's inside Inner Circle, last night I posted this. Market kept ripping down. And noticed early this morning, pretty much like pulling up to that area, like 3170, 3175. Last night was looking at it like this. Whoopsies. Last night when it broke, once it broke that zone last night, I was like, okay, let's see if we can get a pullback. It just kept dropping, and quickly this morning it's returned there. Like for this morning, we returned pretty much to that area, 3170. I have stop losses, you know, I have my risk set for like above here. I want to see maybe I can quickly get out because I have different entries. I caught entries at 3175 that are in 3175 and higher. I went to 3180. Still in that zone. Market has done a big pullback really quickly for New York session. London session bullish. So I mean, if there's a setup here, it could quickly drop on the news or maybe a bit before the news. There could be a setup also after the news. Like you don't have to look at this setup. There could be a setup after the news as well. This is just something I'm looking at. Been looking at it since last night. I ran down a video for you guys, earlier this morning, kind of explaining what I was seeing. Like maybe we can get a drop down before a bullish move. Gonna go over some of that here on this session right now. We have some time. We have an hour till the news comes out. The market could drop before the news, or it could drop on impact of the news. So I mean, I've been trading 11 years, so this is a situation I have experience with. I mean, some of you guys who might have been following me back in the day might remember when I would stream 7 a.m. or even a lot of times these days we stream early, and you get those London New York reversals. Could be a scenario like that, or maybe even after the news. Gold came down a lot. I mean, just broken up. Prices looking a bit more bullish. Like I would like to see a drop, then possibly buys. Like if we're looking at some key price levels here, it's nice how price kind of played out. 31.25. Even there was a slight reaction on a small time frame. There was a reaction at 31.50. Right now, market's just kind of hovering at 31.75 on this 1 hour chart. There was a nice break of 31.50. London session, like going into London session today, the Tokyo session going into London was just dropping bearish, and all London bullish up till now. Well, there's a nice break down here, and right now it's a little bit above 75. Maybe it can drop down. 31.50. So let me move the chart a bit. You see at 31.25, that was coming into London. It kind of something similar happened last night, like coming in the previous night around 32.25. Another quarter level. The previous night dropping, and then coming into London session 1 a.m., 2 a.m. the market started some bullish structure, and then New York session just dumped yesterday. If you look at price action the day before, this time of the day drops all the way into what I like to call pre-London session. So you're dropping into pre-London. I like to call it like pre-London, but a little bit hours before London. So it's late Tokyo, Hong Kong, Asia, Singapore market. You know, some might call it Sydney, Tokyo, later hours. The late Tokyo hours before London session is like pre-London, where there's volume. Like if you look at the other night, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. I'm talking like New York time, Eastern time, Miami time. 11 o'clock at night, midnight, coming into London hours. There's volume there that's just selling off. You can see. So, and coming into those hours, kind of like pre-London 1 a.m.'s here, the market starts to show some bullish signs, like quickly on 15-minute, 5-minute. I broke that down in I broke some of that down in Inner Circle the other day, and we were live in Inner Circle taking buys here, talking about buys live. I called it it's recorded. The other day, we were taking buys in here. We were live for the market, watching it do what I'm talking about. A bit before that, we were live, and I said before that, we were live before that. We were live before the market came down there, and I was saying watch 32.25. Around that price, it, let's just say, designed, bullish characteristic, bullish price action. So you can get like times of the day that could sell off really extremely, but like going into a certain time, the market can create that bullish price action that maybe sticks longer than sometimes. Like this was 1 in the morning, and by where we are right now, the market was up here, like pretty much. This was it went pretty quick, and then it failed to keep going. But it created that bullish price action really quickly, like accumulated, boom, 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 around a time where it can happen, where it should happen. It did the same thing today. I was sleeping. If you look at how the market traded today, what did it do? All kind of like late Tokyo, before London session, pre-London, I like to call it. The market's just selling off. So like if you're looking from a 15-minute here, the quarters, so every $25, we talk about this a lot on my streams. Those that tune in, have watched my videos, my streams, we talk a lot about, every $25 marked on the chart. Those can be good levels to just keep on the chart. You can see 2 days in a row where, like today, it's a different price action, but like the same thing. Like look at the market taps that level. There's a high right here, and then there's even this here, but you can see that shift up that the market makes right here, breaking that high. Around a time where it would be good to see it happening at this type of price action, like how it's dropping, how it's selling off. It's selling off. When it's happening and how it's happening is a good time to see it. It's not so random time of the day. Buyers, you could see step in here. You get that break up, pull back. That nice big engulfing candle gets rebalanced. that is a really good setup right there. Ideally, like if you were getting this move up, you would want like pullbacks. Like if I was watching this break up, I would be trying to look for a pullback continuation. Like I would be wanting pullback. That bigger pullback hasn't really happened yet. If I was on a 5 minute, you could maybe find some early signs like right in here, and there's your trade, right? If you're looking for that retracement. But like it takes being on the chart to catch those setups, right? At the right times where things are likely to happen. We caught a setup live like that we talked about it at like 32.25, like a lot something like that happened at 32.25. And that was a trade I was in. Shared in my inner circle Discord in the chat the other night. It was later at night. Some of you guys were sleeping. I shared a chart on that. Maybe I can find it. Where was that? Here. It was this here. It was like nice little downtrend accumulation. It broke up, retrace. There's the move. It went higher. I got out early. I ended up going to like. It ended up going up more. But even before that, I was talking about this. I was talking about looking at that area, 32.25. 32.25. I was saying maybe for a bounce. It made that full move, and then it's been dropping since. So price like New York session, New York hours. Like if you look at New York yesterday, coming into 9:30 yesterday. I got on at 9:30 yesterday in Inner Circle. The market was just selling off. And then it hit 31.75. So a quarter level. So yesterday, New York session. Coming into early New York, we're selling off. Just fast, extreme. Then we tapped 31.75. That reaction keeps some bullish control for a little while. We were able to capitalize on that yesterday with 31.80 I was talking about for buys. The market broke down and it even traded in the zone again, but we kept breaking down. Let's look at the chart right now. I mean, gold, we know there's news coming up in a little bit under an hour, and Jerome Powell speaks today. We've been in a downtrend. We're going towards near the end of the week. Yeah, it could be like end of the week reversals, Friday reversals for price. It tapped into a very big daily area. It hit 25, 31.25. Daily tapped into that pretty nicely there. Is this a sign of reversal for end of the week? It could be, but when we break it down like 4 hour, we'll go over here. For now, with news coming out, like you can see right here this place on the chart here. Just even around 31.75, which is a quarter level. I always like to focus on those. They're reliable. They've been reliable for me. And anyone who's followed kind of the journey kind of knows how they work. You could see this area, like, it wouldn't be a good area to necessarily try to buy into. The market could drop here, continue the trend that it's been in. Looking at the 4 hour here on gold. We had a big drop. That candle quickly has been retraced. So we had a full London session bullish, right? London trend into New York. So we got London bullish. Maybe New York bearish, early New York bearish. It could drop like it could drop before the news or on the impact of the news. I have some shorts. If it spikes down quickly, I'll like right now. Oh yeah, it's coming down. Nice. Need that to stick. It's a situation I've been in before. Like those of you guys who would follow me back in the day, maybe remember situations like this with unemployment claims on Thursdays, where I would always talk about like it's a setup that you got to be willing to take the risk on type of thing and know like what the outcome could be when it's high impact news. Like if there's a technical setup, like you see, some of you guys might remember I used to say like sometimes news is noise. If there's a technical thing you see on the chart, it's always good to kind of follow that. If you see maybe sells, if the technicals are showing you that, that's what I see on the technical side. Obviously, we know we have some crazy news coming out, so market can be volatile, especially with Jerome Powell speaking shortly after. Man speaks at 8:40 today, so that might be interesting. So if you're in sells, like it could be like if market drops on impact of the news, like if there is a time to get out, it could be a quick thing that you want to act on if you can get out, if that's what you're looking for. Like this is the analysis I was looking at last night. I posted an inner circle, I'll share it here. I streamed last night and then I posted this. I mean, the market kept dropping down, like I explained, but it's quickly come back up to that zone. So maybe there's an extension or reaction in that area. The only other thing I would like see, like when you're looking at gold today, it's traded nicely at 31.25. Nice reaction there. We're above 31.50. The bottom line's 31.25. Yeah, like I would want to see, if I was looking for buys, you know, closer back to 31.50 ideally in this case, if the market was to come down. I mean, you have these highs here that were below. It could run up, and then from there it's just viewing the market structure at a different point if it takes out those highs. We've been in a downtrend. I mean, if you're looking at the 4-hour here, yeah, you might have one more reaction to continue or give a bearish movement if this area holds. 31.50, it's the nice breakout at 31.50 like I explained. For me, well, this is the 1-hour chart I'm on right now. Nice reversal around 31.25. It would be nice to see, like, if I was looking for buys, not here, personally. It'd be pretty aggressive, like you'd be looking at, okay, like a 15-minute chart. Knowing it could drop or pump up, right? 15-minute chart. You'd be looking at, like, what this is doing here. Or how that acts on a 5-minute, this area. So you'd be looking at like these smaller time frames here. 15-minute, what you can see is above here. We broke above. So with the volatility coming, it's too close for me. I'd like to see like a 1-hour. Like I like the 1-hour. Okay, here's the 1-hour. Maybe the 1-hour can give a deeper retracement, pull back to like at least 31.50. Some rebalance, came up, came down fast, came up quick. So that's all I see for now. I'm going to stick with that for a bit, see how the news impacts price. You can wait till after the news. If you go on my YouTube video, guys, and you're not really in, like, if you're a new trader, or I've been trading for 11 years, so it's different. Everyone has different like risk tolerance and has different, let's say, experiences as well in the market. If you haven't seen on my YouTube channel, there's 2 videos. Like if you're new to forex trading in general, New to the channel, subscribe. Check out some of the videos on my YouTube channel. I just dropped a few new ones, actually. 6 days. There's a few new ones, actually, guys, that just came out. Check them out. We just dropped a few new ones that were pending, like recently, 1 month ago, 1 month ago, 1 month ago, 9 days ago, 6 days ago. So there's a few new ones that just came out in the last month. Check those out if you haven't seen them. One I just dropped recently is pretty good. It's on scalping gold. Should really check that one out. It's getting a good amount of views in 6 days. That's a really good one. But let's say news trading right here. Two really popular videos. If you're not so familiar with news, I would watch those videos too. Watch them right now. That one's 12 minutes. You'll get a good idea and understanding of how to approach the news, psychologically, mentally, like some tips, some mindset tips. Before and during the news, like you don't have to trade the news. Like forex news is not always something you have to trade or be in a trade before. It depends on your experience too. As you go through more experience, you'll kind of maybe graduate to that. We have a strategy that involves just waiting for the news to do whatever it does. I think it's loud. If you check out that video, or both those videos, it goes into an effective way to approach the news. Especially if you're new, there's going to be a lot of news events that happen every week. So best thing if you're a new trader, wait 15-30 minutes after the news. Like you don't always have to be in a trade before or right during the news or as it's happening. Because typically within that first 15, or we say 5 minutes, right when the news comes out, there's going to be high impact. So it's always best to wait for that first 15-30 minutes direction to kind of play out. And with today, you got like 2 things happening. So ideally, like in today's scenario, I'd want to see if the market could pull back, give some pullbacks before potentially looking for longs again. Like, well, I was looking for longs yesterday, New York session, the other night. Not from here. I'd rather sit on hands if I'm looking for buys. Let the market drop, if anything. Maybe in the first 30 minutes to hour of the news, it can come back, drop. And then there's a setup for that. If this thing is to come back down, retest that area. That would be an ideal situation for what the 1 hour shows. If we come back down there. This year I was missing some news reversals. I noticed. It could hold like 3175, 3180. It would most likely be on impact of the news. Like it just went down a bit. You can see what it's doing on the 15 minutes. It's trending bullish right now, but I would like to see a retracement today, if anything. If price breaks up enough, then you get this big breakout here of these highs. So it's kind of like the same thing. If price does break up, it's more or less waiting for retracements within that like structure. Because you have these highs here to the left. Right, so it's more or less like if this thing's to break up today, crack above 3200, it's more or less waiting for that retracement to happen to see if there's continuations. So that's another play. Like if you're looking at the highs there, I'll go to the 1 hour. Right, these highs here. If it cracks above those, like if the structure just continues and this thing continues, breaks up, possible pullbacks continuations. More or less like the same thing right now. Like if this thing were to come down and hold, let's say, below the high, you could be looking for that bullish move up. So it's like break up, retrace, continuation, or retracement, possible continuation. Those would be like bullish scenarios that you have depending on how the structure goes. Like news could come out and it could just dump it, or vice versa. News comes out and it shoots up and just structure continues, and it's more just keeping up with that buy momentum. Usually, like, so it's depending on, it's how price accumulation reversal, like it's depending on how price is delivered. So it's the delivery of price too. Like if you have an hour of just like excessive movement down, for instance, maybe coming into New York session. I saw some people, some stuff you guys said in the chat. It's like if an hour of price is just dropping excessively and the 5 minutes just down, coming into a certain time of the day, maybe early New York hours, late Tokyo hours, like pre-London, there could be signs that price distributes or accumulates after, like if it's a big drop for hours or a good period of time. Price can form some signs, or I like to say evidence, that buyers will come in control, and you'll be able to see those things on the chart. Your eyes will get trained naturally over time. Just it's getting used to, like if you look at New York yesterday, early New York price dumps. So 9:30, so we got that 8:30, 9:30, 9:30's right here. So it's how price dumps, where after those types of movements happen, price could start to accumulate or reaccumulate, like distribute again. Like this started to show when you break it down over here on a 15-minute and a 5-minute chart. You see signs of buyers coming into the market that show, okay, this could potentially break up in that moment. It ended up taking out the low and coming right back into that same zone and holding again. Like it had some nice bullish trending momentum here, and then it like revisit, like the same, like if you look at like here, you see again another really big move. So it takes these types of moves that can last, like excessive movements down like this at the right times of the day, like the right windows of the day. You got a lot of you guys are in the public Discord, right? If you go to blueprints in there, when I started that Discord, I posted a lot of blueprints. These are things I'm always gonna come back to, and these are things I'm making gonna have a lot of videos on for my inner circle. These are topics we always gonna come back to. If you go to the blueprints even that I posted here back in January. So for instance, I always talk about Tokyo pre-London, or London session, New York session. Another time we talk about a lot, especially if you're inside my inner circle, end of London session, right? So if you're looking at these big drops, they can happen if they're happening at the right times of the day, going into the right times of the day. That's where you can start to kind of hunt for signs, for clues, to spot things. I like to say like evidence. So, okay, buyers are here, maybe certain rejection candlesticks on smaller time frames, like a 15-minute, 5-minute, 1-minute chart. Like if you look at 31.25 and you break it down right to a 1-minute, like you break down 31.25 right to a 1-minute, you can see a quick accumulation in price on a 1-minute. You can see a really quick one. So that's why it kind of takes getting used to positioning yourself at the right times of the day, or around the right times of the day, the right windows of the day, and just showing up. And at times, like if you look at 31.25 on a 1 minute, now like this could happen on a 5 minute, this could happen on a 15 minute. It's perfect when it's like on a 5 minute. Gives you more time if you see it on the higher the time frame. Because if you're not really there watching the chart, then it's not gonna be it's gonna be gone, right? The market's gonna be maybe gone. So you could see, like if you break this down from a 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, you might see some clues here. But we can see how price before that, like price is dropping before that for a couple hours, right? Coming into like London session. So on a 1 minute, if you look even just here in a 1 minute, you can see it, right? How price makes the low, high, lower low, but then it breaks out right here. So right there, that punch up, like if you're on the chart, right there, that punch up, that's a nice sign of evidence. It pulls back and it continues, and then it makes a high, like it breaks out on a 5. When you go on a 5 minute, there's a high here, like it breaks out and it makes this swift move up, and it trades right back into that. So those setups, stuff like that, will be around certain windows of the day, times of the day, where the market trades a certain way to deliver that. Like the market typically would have to sell off like excessively to create that price action. However it's going to do it, right? High, low, lower low, break the high, boom, boom, like, and it can happen quickly. It's not always about being on the chart 24/7. If you can, like, if you could spend 8 hours straight on a chart, or you could break that 8 hours into different times of the day. You could spend 5 hours, whatever. I'm just saying any number. I could say 5 hours, 3 hours. Like, you don't have to spend a full amount of time on a chart. Let's just say 5-6 hours straight. If you get familiar with when things happen and start to see that more often, you can break your time down into showing up at certain windows of the day. Like if I'm going to spend 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day on the chart, I could break those down into different windows of the day. Maybe 2 hours here, see what the market's doing. 2 hours there, see what the market's doing. More or less different times. I mean, everyone's going to be at different kind of levels in your trading with time that you can orientate to it and that you can put into it, especially with your everyday life. You might be able to put in more or less time. Over time, like you might be part-time in the beginning, but over time you'll be able to put more time, right? Where that becomes more effective, kind of like me. If you see, I'll stream at different times of the day, kind of show up at different windows of the day to check out what price is doing. Let me know in the chat if that makes sense, what I just went over. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat, guys, if we're on the same page here. I know I'm going fast today, but I'm going fast here because we got a big day today. We got a lot to talk about today. Let me know if type in the chat if we're making sense. Type in the chat if we're making sense. Type in the chat if we are making sense. So you gotta like familiarize yourself with like how price moves and see the price movements that happen at these times of the day. Like you'll see, I catch a lot of these buy setups, but it's usually after price makes a pretty big like bearish drop. And it's usually a familiar scenario, familiar type of situation. If you have, you know, I don't know how much time everyone can dedicate in the day, but you could spread out time. Like if you have London session, you have New York session, you have Tokyo. Obviously, focusing on just one time of the day is good for a beginner trader. You don't need to be like me, going on the market, London, New York, or different times. As a beginner trader, you can just kind of stick to one time that really fits your schedule, really, like, but try to put the most time into the market that you can, right? But a little blueprint, like thinking outside that, like how I think about it is, I know like London session's a key time. I know these hours are a key time. And I know like late Tokyo sessions key time. So at my level, with the amount of time I can dedicate, if I could spend as much time as I want on the charts. I don't need to do that. I could spread it out, right? I don't need to be glued to the chart 4 or 5 hours straight, 3 hours straight always. It could be just coming to these windows of time and watching the market maybe for 2 hours, 3 hours. Spreading that longer duration out. That's where I'll find more scalping setups, right? That might be quick in moments. This is a good topic that my camera guy, content guy, Leo, he gets here in a few days, so this is a good topic I could really elaborate on, spend some few hours on. So I'll definitely elaborate more on this topic, because we could talk about this a lot. We could talk about this exact topic a lot. It's like for some of you guys that are the beginner level, maybe it's good to just focus on one time of the day and get consistent with just one time of the day. One time of the day. As you get natural with that, you might find more flexibility. When you get more efficient and confident, you might find more flexibility towards different times of the day as well. So it's a good blueprint topic, but for now, let's see what happens with gold. Any questions in the chat? Let me see. You're in a buy right now? I mean, depends on where your buy is. I don't know if it's... I'm personally not bullish up here. If I'm buying, I'd like to see the market drop down. Like 31.50 would be nice. Even 31.60. We broke up. So with how I always trade, like, I like to wait for, in this case, pullback. Like for me to be in buys. Otherwise, the market would just have to, I just have to take my L. I'm in some shorts on gold. I'm in shorts on gold for the news. Like, you don't have to follow me. There could be a setup after the news. I posted the setup last night in Inner Circle. Did a video on it too. So it's actually a bit higher. So I'm in some high entries too. Stop loss would be above these highs. Yeah, like 31.50, nice. I wasn't on the charts. Losing my voice. That damn AC had that air conditioner on. Damn. And that fan. Yeah, if you're looking at structure, like market's been in a downtrend, there's signs of reversals down here. So like someone asked, it would have to take out these highs, like 31.90. I'd have to take out 31.90 for me. So I drew up a little bit ago. Taking out 31.90 would be like more of like a bullish confirmation, like continuation above those highs to the left. That could happen today. And that could just be more signs of like waiting for pullbacks, continuations, especially if it takes out 3190, 3200 area, which is like the structure over here on that 4 hour we talked about. If it gets above there, then you're looking at like more continuations for that, I would say. News comes out in 25 minutes, so that like after, and Powell speaks 10 minutes after, so that could happen in the next like hour. If price is going to break up, there could be continuations. You're for now just maybe going to hold this until the news. So for me, it's either pull back to 3150, break those highs, continuation setups. 3150 if you're looking for bullish. So those are bullish areas. You don't have to sell. You can wait. You have two bullish scenarios basically. If the market, if you wait, if you're sitting on your hands, you have two possible bullish scenarios. You have one down here if the market drops. If the market continues, which it could, creates a new high, you have possible like continuation setup. So like bullish has like more scenarios. Bearish just has like one scenario. I think if on impact the market drops, if news drops, I think bearish just has that impact if news comes in bearish for gold. Bullish, you have like push up. If the market pushes up today, that's a good market structure. Shift up, possible continuations. Or if it drops down, 3150, 3160 area. Yeah, those are like really, those are the only really bullish options I see for me. If it jumps or if price continues. It would have to really close above like 3190. Oh yeah, like 3190. Create a shift above that. That last high over here. Gets above there. You're above that high. So after that, you could try to follow the market and see if it's, you know, more trend continuations after that, right? Because if it doesn't come down to here, like retest this area where we just like reversed from. Yeah, if it's a sell, then I think news impact would bring that. If it's a sell setup, maybe I think you'd see that more on the news impact with gold. So if you're selling like an ideal, like if you're selling stop loss, if you're selling gold, stop loss would be above this high, above like 3180, 3187, 3188, around there. If you're looking for buys, like you're sitting on your hands because it's Thursday. I know, you know, some of you guys have maybe been trading throughout the week. So at news, it's good to just be like also wait for whatever you like wait for whatever you want. Even like the market could dump down, and you could possibly have this setup, or it could push up. Doesn't have to be the sell, but you have two buy scenarios as well, depending on what happens. From what I see, yeah, it looks like the 5 minute, 15 minute been trending. Ever since it pushed up. Like this type of price action on the 5 minute is where, you know, let's see if this pops up. Might have to refresh the page. Is where the $5 levels come in play. So this type of price action, see something. Oh, it's on forex.com. Oh, and why is it not showing on my window? this type of price action that you're getting on gold right now, like since it moved up, is where those $5 levels come in handy. Every $5 level, every $5, or even those like $10, like marking at this point, like if you're scaling in and you're scalping and you're just going with the flow of price, you're not waiting for bigger retracement down or bigger move up. Why is this is where like every $5 can kind of come in handy when it's trading like this and it's just kind of going with the flow, continuing its momentum. This is where like every $5 can help out. Like even here, 3150, because a lot of times the candles with gold can there's break and retest with gold. We have a tool right here that we've been working on for a while called Golden Pip. It's really good at detecting break and retest zones like at the whole numbers within the candles. Like typically when we look for break and retest, we're like maybe looking for like a bigger structure to break and retest, like multiple candles. This does the break and retest kind of like in the moment around the whole number when it's happening, so it can literally be like candlesticks testing. It gives you a good second pair of eyes that helps you even understand like what I'm literally talking about right now. Because like typically like break and retest, we look at like most traders look at break and retest like, okay, there's a big support, market broke support, we're looking for a big pullback to support, kind of like what I'm doing on the higher time frame right now with gold, literally on the 1 hour, like literally what I'm marking on the higher, like literally this. Well, we noticed years ago, like we've been trading gold for like 8 years, and what we would notice by focusing on just the candles and whole numbers is that it does a lot of breaks and retests literally like in the candles. Like this is like a common concept of break and retest, this chart right here, where you can see like a bigger picture, like a bigger graph, right? Losing my voice, man, today. Losing my voice. This is like a bigger graph, right? Like I can see a support, break, retest. So the cool thing we learned with gold like years ago that we've been practicing, we've been studying this for like years, like is that like the candles can give you that in moments, like at those whole numbers where you're literally getting a break, retest of the candle, right? The candlestick. Not like a big break and retest within a bigger part of the graph or structure. So when gold's flowing and going with the flow, like this is a good tool that really helps us see this. Like it's showing previous examples where it would have been looking for zones. So I got 3150 here, break, retest, popped up. 3155. Like typically we would want like the market to go, if market went up, we would want it to come back and go like this, but it didn't. Like that's what we want, right? We want like when the market's flowing like this, when it's just trending up, you can use those $5 levels. Like see 3165 is a good example, because like what we would typically want to look for, 3165, it touched 3170 here, right? It pulled back to 3165, 3165. That's like a bigger pullback, right? Gold can do that like literally on the break. Like right here is a break and retest of, it can happen a lot at the $5 levels, right? So in the moment, I like to say like in the moment, you can get these quick break and retests of those $5 levels, or you can get it more like where you can actually see like a structured pullback, like a bigger pullback, like 31.65, for example. The market breaks up. Yeah, this is what it looks like right now. Like, we're gonna be working on it more for the next, like, it looks like this right now. My inner circle will be able to get access to this year. We're gonna obviously, like, it'll look different in the near future and stuff, but we've been working on it for like my friend Christian himself. He's been working on it for like 2 years, a couple years himself. So there's a lot to teach with it too. Like, it's a good, I could teach a lot about gold with this too. So if you're inside my inner circle, I'm going to be teaching a lot with it too, like to teach you guys more about gold as well. Like, we can learn a lot about the candlestick analogy, the whole numbers more. But just like, even simply, like, if you mark, just if you're marking every $5 on gold, real simply, I know news is coming out soon. Like, if you're putting every $5, let's start at 31.50. Let's go 31.55. 31.60. 31.65, etc. So every $5. All right. So we're going to be doing a lot of trainings on this, like, when we're not doing live analysis, when we're not, you know, looking at the market always. Like, some sessions we'll just literally talk about this stuff. I know I'm doing a bit of gold, was looking at gold analysis, but there's a lot we can talk about on this topic itself. Like, when you're looking at price, like when price picks a direction, these $5 levels can be very, very handy on the 5-minute chart, especially 5-minute, 1-minute, 15-minute. You might not see those little breaks unless you really know this and study gold. Look at 31.60, for example. So as it's moving up and increasing in price, you can use these levels, especially when it's trending like this in a period of time. So if you're looking, every line I marked is every $5. You guys see? You guys can see the $5 levels. Those are the black lines. Starting at 31.50, 31.55, 31.60, 31.65, 31.70, 31.75, 31.80, 31.85 up here. All right. So as, like, price like, you could study this in the downtrend that it's been doing. You could pick some good spots, mark $5 levels on this downtrend it's been in. All right, you can do the same thing upside and downside. Okay, so you can see, like, the last how many hours, right? Price has been going up. We went from 31.50 up to almost 31.85. So if you're looking at the $5 levels, pay attention to the $5 levels as price pushes up, as it makes higher pushes up, right? As price increases, it makes highs up, pushes up, and it pushes up, right? It's trending and it's pushing up. It's trending and it's pushing up. The $5 levels are below us, so they can serve as like support and resistance levels, like walls and barriers. As price is pushing up, like if you're looking at 31.60, price is extending up, it becomes a nice level. But from 31.60, what does the market do? It pushes up, it pushes up, it pushes up, and it stops at 31.70 here. Some rejection. And then 31.65. Right? That's the setup, but that happens a lot in the moment, like on these little breaks in the candles too. Like, it can happen in smaller ways. Like, so as price pushes up, these numbers, like if you're looking at 31.75 right now, we're kind of above it. So yeah, that would have been a good quick little scalping level to potentially hold. Maybe the market wants to stay above 31.75. Like, ideally in this case, that's how you could look at it for scalping. There is news coming out soon, so I do feel like it could maybe drop on news impact. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just giving like a quick lesson there, because this is a good, like, what you want to do is what I just did. Like, for you guys to get good at understanding this stuff, like, take parts of the chart and study the market daily. Like, I just gave you guys a quick little study there. We could elaborate a lot more, but just practice little things like that daily, you know, to study and pay attention to. It'll train your eyes much better, help you understand price a lot more. All right. Pick some good, this is a good section of the day to pick, like, because London sessions, you can see there's been a good London trend the whole day. So like the market can pick it, like London, that's like 4 or 5 hours of the market kind of going one direction. Along the way, this tool is going to be available inside my inner circle. And more. This one and a few more, like 3 more. This one is called Golden Pip. My good, like one of my best friends, good friend, trader of mine, Christian Lopez. He made this one, and he's going to be teaching inside my inner circle as well. And teaching how it works as well, and going over it as well. So am I. I'm going to be showing it as well and showing some things. He's going to be doing a lot of that though as well. And just some videos and trainings on it later on in like the next month, like 3-4 weeks. See what gold does. Brace yourself for impact. Yeah, market just pushed down a bit, shooting up. News comes out in like 8 minutes, 9 minutes. So this type of, like, see 3180, I'm gonna take the camera off so you guys can kind of see those whole numbers a little bit better. So my camera's not a bit in the way. So in this type of flow, like the market has flow right now, you can see how these whole numbers act. Might get cooked on the sells today. We'll see. But what you can do, is the camera in the way on some of them, the bottom ones? Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna fix the bottom. Yeah. I mean those every black line's a whole number, but yeah, I see. Yeah, 30, 65, 70, 70. Okay. Yeah. True. I'll fix that. Yeah, I'll get that fixed. Some of you guys have said that in the chat. Yeah. I see. Derp. So yeah, the black lines, like whether my camera's there or not, just all the black lines I have are at the $5. 3180, 75. I'll fix that for next week. I'll get it fixed for next week. See, it just tapped 3185. Quick reaction there. Quick reactions like that are likely to happen at these levels. Like, they can be quick because people take profits at them, and stop losses can be around these levels as well. People entering at them as well. Like a lot, like simultaneously simulation of things are happening right at those levels. It could be exiting the market, selling, buying and selling, right? Both ways. We'll see. Those of you guys who remember following me back in the day on news, I always used to say the same thing. Like, if you're gonna trade news, you gotta know what the outcomes are. We'll see what happens on the impact. It happens in 7 minutes. I'm gonna pull up the Jerome Powell thing too. That'll be on Bloomberg, and that'll, you know, Jerome Powell speech. He speaks in like 20 minutes. Like, you can get quick. So with scalping, like, we have a concept we call pip and dip. Like, if you're trading 5-minute chart at these levels, if the market reacts, it's good to get out quickly. Like the market can give you, like look what just happened at 3180. It breaks above 3180. It quickly reacts off of it. It taps 3185. So I mean, the market can give you those quick reactions at these whole numbers. They can even serve as sometimes swings. I mean, with gold, depending on your definition of a swing, it moves hundreds of pips a day. So there was a clean setup at like 3165. Like you could see a few down here where it's like breaking above the whole number, retesting, continuing, breaking above the whole number, retesting, continuing. It even did that at like 3175, and it just pretty much did that at, you could see, 3180. So it's like in a trending market, it's a good way to kind of flow with the price. Down there is 3165. Well, yeah, I gotta remember the camera there, 3165, like breaking above the whole number, retesting it. 3160, breaking above the whole number and retesting it. That's like kind of the concept where, because gold can trade fast, like you can see in the last couple of hours, how it's like picked a direction and it's traded pretty fast in that direction. So like when it's moving like this, there's every day of the week it'll have days it moves like this. This is a lot of times how the price action can behave. It's very familiar to see price action like this, like trending for gold, like in the day or in a time. Those whole numbers, those $5 levels can become really reliable if the market is trending like this and you're scalping and you're looking at smaller time frame charts. They work pretty good. Gold tends to react to them very sensitive. Like if you look at 3185, like you see what just happened at 3185. It's still trending more bullish here, even on the 1 minute. You see what happened at 3185. Quick reaction, comes closer back down to 3180. It's moving a lot right now. Hopefully this thing drops. It just created a wick. Hopefully we get a dump on the news. I'll make a big bag. If not, your boy will take his L proudly. Yeah, I'll pull up Powell speaks. I'll put that speech on to see what he's talking about on YouTube. Run down a quick little analysis here. We'll be on probably, what time is it? 8:30. We'll be on probably for a couple more hours. We'll do some more trainings. The only, like I said, these highs, if market, you know, I see sells unless the market breaks above that, right? It could maybe drop on impact if it's going to continue some downtrend momentum or reject that area, maybe back to 3150, right? Possible scenario. Like if you're waiting for a trade, you could still find one even after the news. 30 minutes to an hour after the news. Doesn't have to be on impact. Depending on how that first 30 minutes, I would say 30 minutes to an hour reacts, or even the first 15-30 minutes. So you don't have to chase price. Like, this is my setup, something I see right now. There could be, again, depending on what price does, other scenarios to look at. But yeah, right now, moments before news, gold, 4-hour chart, testing this area on the 4-hour. Just above 31.75. Tested, just hit 31.85. So still below 31.90, that area right here. Retesting here. If you see kind of like sells like I do, then I think maybe it happens on the impact of the news in like a minute. So we'll see what happens. If it dumps down quickly, I would get out. That's probably what I'm gonna look to do if it dumps down, and then maybe revise. Wait for, you know, wait for some things to happen. You don't have to, like I said, there could be a setup 30 minutes after the news. I want to see what happens on that impact. Hopefully we don't get a spike up for your boy. If we break up, like, wait for, like, it tells you like a sign of structure. If you break up today, you have a different way to view the structure of the market, right? Potentially. If you come down today, you have potentially a view of the market. Let's say it comes down, you have potentially this, right? Maybe we get some impact down, some movement down. If not, something like this. Maybe later today. Powell speaks, so I think it's like gonna be, the impact's probably gonna be more towards when he speaks, if anything. Powell speaks in like 10 minutes, so I think the impact could be probably more towards him even speaking. Let's see, like, market's pushing up right now. If it breaks and closes above like 3190, 3200, if the market breaks and closes like above 3190, 3200, then it's like a good market structure shift, right? Above those highs, so something to consider if it were to pump up above those highs. See if this thing can drop. I want to see if it drops. Maybe it drops. Doesn't. So I said, like, stop loss for me, like, risk would be like if it pretty much clears like 3190, breaks above here. This is like 3187, 3188, close to 3190. Otherwise, maybe you have a few other maybe you have some other scenarios to consider later, depending on what price does. We'll see. Yeah, Powell's speaking, so probably when he speaks, there's gonna be different impact. How news come out. Interesting results there. Okay. Yeah, it'd be good to see this dump and set up for a buy. If this thing can dump and then set up for a buy, that would be great. Or again, if it breaks up, same thing, retest. That's what I'm looking for based on like the 1 hour chart. Yeah, news, dollar probably dropping right now a bit. Yeah, dollar dumping right now. Some negative, that was negative for the dollar. Negative news for the dollar would be great to see gold drop, because then it would set up for a buy easily. We just had like a negative dollar release. What's crypto doing? Is crypto doing anything special? Pump crypto up. Maybe that sends crypto up. We'll see. We'll talk about crypto later. Yeah, dollar, that's negative release, and Powell speaks shortly. I'm just not trading buys up here. It just does. It's never how I'm just not trading buys up here. So market could go up. I explained like why I would want it to go down to look for buys, or if it goes up, how I could look for buys afterwards. If it closes above like 3190, 3200. There was buys down here. So I would need it to maybe come back a bit or show a different setup. Yeah, it can go up, but I'm not personally, like, looking long for here. I'd rather see if it could come back or push up, give another setup. Still early New York session, so if it can retrace today, keep an eye on it. If you're not in any trades, if you're just waiting, kind of sitting on the sidelines, you can really play the waiting game still if you're looking for those buys. Me personally, I'm not buying at these levels. Just like on the 1 hour, where the 1 hour is, right? It's never how I've traded. So it doesn't mean it can't go up, guys, for those asking, right? That's what I said, like if I think the next setup for buys for me would be if it gets above 31.90. If it's able to do something like that, right? Get above that 31.90, 3200. That above there is bullish. If we look left, there, even at structure, so like getting above there, all right? You look to the left, 31.90, 3200. It's not random for me, like why I would want buys above there. If it gets above there, you can look even to the left here, like price went above there, pulled back, continuation. So that like 31.90, kind of 3200 area, you could see only like that's the only times we've been bullish above there. So I want to look left as well with that area. It would take for me like the market kind of doing like what it did over here, right? Getting above there, like getting more above there. However far it goes too, like you could see some of the other times it was above there. It went to like 32.20. The first time here, broke above, retested, continued. So something like what happened over here at 31.90, 3200. You can see there was a big break up here, and then the market just did this, move up, and then it came back to that low. You can see right here, above it, even here. So that's why, for me, more bullish, it doesn't work for me like right here at this point, even though I know like, yeah, it could push up, maybe give that move up, but then after that it would be okay, maybe then it's setting up, right? If it gets above there. So I don't need to look for that buy there. I'd rather have more like confirmation of it getting above there first, like something like what it did to the left, like here. You can see bullish above there, here, nice price action there. That's beautiful. So yeah, knowing it could go bullish above there, like you could see the price action to the left right here is pretty clear. So that's why I was saying like 31.90, 3200, that area, and we can see the high there. If it gets up like here, this high still holding, which is like 31.90. So potentially, I mean, Powell's about to speak. I'm still in shorts on gold. I'm gonna follow my plan. Never hit my stop loss, which is like around, I said, following the setup from last night until I find the next setup. The next setup might be this. Like obviously I could look at like we try to scalp it, but I don't want to scalp this high, right? I don't want to scalp right here. Try to scalp it, like we could try to do that, but I'm not trying to scalp it right here. It could easily drop and give us maybe this as the next setup. Whatever it wants to do in here, if it distributes. Maybe it distributes more, creates some accumulation before even giving that drop down. The next setup, I think the next chart would be this, if anything, or like that retracement, right? Or maybe this. But we might need to give it some time. Powell's about to speak. Maybe Powell can give this a dump for me. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. It's not looking terrible right now. If it goes to like 31.90s, I'll be like, okay. It's not looking terrible. It's not looking terrible. Maybe you can go those 31. If it goes to those 31, if it breaks that, then it's like invalidated for me. I'll have to just wait for the next setup. One setup at a time. One setup at a time. On the 4 hour, Oanda. Still kind of holding here. Let's see what we got over here. Yeah, still for me bullish, like need deeper retracements. Gonna watch it today, see if that happens. Might have a couple charts I could send out for possible areas of like forward thinking, like if price drops 31.50 area, or if we get that breakout. You can look to the left, like you can go on your gold chart and see what I'm talking about. If you go pretty much to over here in April, I'm on the 1 hour chart right now. So you can see that 31.90. If we put a mark there, and then 3,200. That's a very psychological number. 3,200 to zeros there. Last time we were here, last time we moved bullish towards this price, but we're underneath it. We've been trending bearish for gold these past weeks. So you can go on your 1 hour chart and kind of see an idea of what I'm saying here for maybe that next setup. If the sells don't stick, if we don't get any sells down on gold, back down. I have a stop loss like it's at some higher entries right now. Like you could look at this type of setup even right now for sells, maybe back down to 31.50 if it dumps lower. But the next setup would be like I'm looking to the left, like saying if we see bullish here, but we're below that right now. We're like retesting it. So it would really take the market to get above that, right? To be like, okay. It really take the market pushing above that, maybe to consider like another setup, a different type of setup. For now, we're below that. We're even below that area, right? All that support, 3,200 area, 31.90, 3,200. So I still see a possible sell setup here, right? Maybe to come down. Right, if we look at 4 hour, testing the structure. So I'm gonna hold, whether I stream for a while today, like I'm just gonna hold it out till my risk gets hit. But I gave you guys a couple scenarios today that may be able to follow through afterwards if you're looking for other things or if you're just sitting on your hand. So you can go, this is 1 hour, Oanda chart on gold. Looking left, like maybe the same thing happens where it pushes up, gives a retest, revisits this area, creates a move up. Or it really pushes up, right? It just really pushes up and does the same thing, like comes back, retest of this area. Let's see what it did there. Boom, boom. That would be, yeah, probably the only other setup, guys, I would see for now, other than one more. I got one more setup we could look at. So there's the shorts here possibly for maybe New York session, the morning. London bullish, New York bearish. Maybe shorts could hold for the morning. There's that. That's a different setup we'd have to wait for if shorts don't play out. And then the only other setup I would see we'd have to come down. It is if the market comes back down to like 3150, right? Retest 3150 area. That would be the only other thing I would see. So it's either move down for buys or that, right? I'm in sells. I'm gonna hold sells for New York, see how it goes. Powell speaking right now or what? Old man speaking or what? The 1 hour looks good. Like it might be setting up. We need like a bearish rejection candle, wick. We need this candle to close bearish. 1 hour could potentially even hold here. Give a move down. In a perfect world, that's what I'd like to see. Yeah, I'm not personally long here. Just knowing that the market could, it's like knowing the market could dump all the way down to here. You know, I can't go long here. That's the thing. Old man Powell is speaking. We can listen to him if you guys want and kind of just keep an eye on gold for a bit. He's going to talk about some stuff that might give some impact to the market. I'll turn the music off. Keep an eye on this. See what he's talking about.
We may be entering a period of more frequent and potentially more persistent supply
gold.
shocks,
I'll put gold
a
up on the
difficult challenge
screen.
for the economy and for central banks. While our policy rate is currently well above the lower bound,
If he
in
talks
recent
about some
decades, we have
uncertain
cut the
stuff,
rate by
like
about 500 basis points
I'm
when
only
the economy is
short-term
in
bearish
recession.
on gold. Maybe for
Although
just like
getting
this
stuck
New
at the
York
lower
session,
bound
if it
is
can
no longer the
drop
base
down
case,
quickly.
it is only prudent that the framework continue
But
to
the only
address that risk.
only other bullish
While the
scenario I
framework
see would
must
be this
evolve,
or that.
some elements of it are timeless. Policymakers emerged from the Great Inflation with a clear understanding that it was essential to anchor inflation expectations at an appropriately low level. During the Great Moderation, well-anchored inflation expectations allowed us to provide policy support to employment without risking destabilizing inflation. Since the Great Inflation, the U.S. economy has had 3 of its 4 longest expansions on record. Anchored expectations played a key role in facilitating these expansions. More recently, without that anchor, it would not have been possible to achieve a roughly 5 percentage point disinflation without a spike in unemployment. Keeping longer-run inflation expectations anchored was a driving force behind establishing the 2% target in the 2012 framework. Maintaining that anchor was a major consideration behind the changes in 2020. Anchored expectations fully committed to that target today. In the current review, the committee is engaged in discussions about what we have learned from the experience of the past 5 years. We plan to complete consideration of specific changes to the consensus statement in coming months. We're paying particular attention to the 2020 changes as we consider discrete but important updates reflecting what we have learned about the economy and the way those changes were interpreted by the public. In our discussions so far, participants have indicated that they thought it would be appropriate to reconsider the language around shortfalls. And at our meeting last week, we had a similar take on average inflation targeting. We will ensure that our new consensus statement is robust to a wide range of economic environments and developments.
Maybe London.
In addition to revising the consensus statement,
those of you guys who are like, oh geez, London bullish, New York bearish.
Particularly regarding the role of forecasts.
We can't forget that, you know. We can't forget that.
We have been reviewing assessments of the 2020 framework and of policy.
Those of you guys who are like, oh geez, might remember that.
Common observation
That
for clear communications.
time and time again
While
stood the
and
test of time.
participants generally have viewed the FOMC communications as effective, there is always room for improvement. Indeed, clear communication is an issue even in relatively placid times.
Yeah, I can drop the charts in a bit when I get off.
In periods with larger, more frequent, or more disparate shocks.
Like for this, like I might not stay on forever today, just to keep the setup, not for just I like to. Once I got my risk set, it's like I like to give the market some breathing room, not be glued to it. But I'm in shorts on gold.
So let me end by saying thank you again.
Maybe I'll hold them for a couple hours, see if I can get some profit out of it.
With you today, and having these conversations that will occur over the next 2 days. These
I
discussions
ran it down pretty much throughout the whole session. Like,
and they're critical.
what would invalidate it for me is if it takes out these highs.
Thank you very much.
And then doing that could kind of furthermore create another setup, like, you know, out of the one that I drop here. So I can drop the charts in a bit, different ones, but pretty much ran down like everything I could here for the day, what I think could happen, right? Not much so more I can go over. Like, I'm in shorts. I'm gonna see if they play out. Told you guys when I got on, I'm in shorts. I've been in shorts the whole time. I'm wearing shorts. Literally wearing shorts. I'm in shorts. So let's see if I can squeeze out of them today. Yeah, I'm in shorts on gold. What invalidates it for me is, like, again, like, obviously, yeah, you have a bit higher. Some of you guys are saying that support up there, a bit closer. What? Yeah, like for me, like I showed, like if it gets above 3190, 3200, then that'll more or less that'd be like invalidating it for me. Yeah. Whoa. Is that it for Powell?
And it is fitting that this work will continue today in his name. Thank you to the
Is that it for old man Jerome?
panel participants. Thank you also to Trevor and his team for organizing this conference. A whole lot of work went into bringing this together.
I guess that was it. I didn't hear too much of what he said. Just too focused on this setup potentially here. Just checking on how some of these cryptos are moving, what prices they're at today. Solana 185 to 171. Crypto. This weekend we'll talk about some crypto stuff in Inner Circle, and have some updates on that. Market like still in that same kind of like the same thesis. Like I started taking shorts. I got some reactions here and got out, but I've been shorting since like here and between here and here, like when the market was getting up to 3170, 3175. If it invalidates it for me, like I said, if it gets above 3190, 3200 area. When I get off, I'll post the different charts in Discord. I can post a few charts in Discord, but you can see to the left here, like 3200, even a little bit above that, there's some previous support that the market has right up in here. We're a little bit below that looking at this area, right? So yeah, some of you guys can, yeah, I could see that area too. Like it could come to that maybe on a 4 hour. That would be like probably the last sell zone, which is like 3200. I gotta wait. Like I said, there's a few different strategies, kind of angles to go about it today. Whether you're looking for a trade or you're just sitting on your hands, and whatever your bias is. If you're bullish, two scenarios. I'll post them again when I wrap it up and get up. Would have to, for me, like I said, break above here, retest, and then I'll maybe consider a bullish setup. That's a chart. Left, pull back, retest. All right. I'm in shorts maybe for an hour or two, depending on what price does. Pushing up right now. I can obviously see that. Like I said, it could go up today, but I'm not, doesn't fit my strategy to buy here. A higher sell zone, like pretty much like in a sell zone when you look at it, like 3,200 would be the highest. Like it's testing 3,190, 3,200 area. So that would be, I guess, like the higher sell zone. I'm in lower on price. Uh, 3,190, 3,200. Like that for me, it would, again, like I said, to invalidate my kind of thesis, it would take breaking above there. So I'll have to see. Drawdown phases are nice, but yeah, that's the analysis for the day, guys. Like there's not much more we can really go over. Because I'm not gonna be looking for scalps up here. Usually we scalp and look for stuff. Like if you're looking for scalps, you know, you gotta, it's kind of like looking at this point, like those $5 levels. If you're looking for scalps, keeping an eye on the $5 levels. Like if you're gonna be scalping, and maybe just going with the flow. Keeping an eye on those $5 levels, which have reacted a few times. So I'm gonna do a little training on that before I get off. Talk about that one more time today. Whoa. BlackRock Larry Fink says the strength of the entire financial system is safe and sound. Yeah, if you're scalping, like, again, like, I train a lot on this type of stuff in different market conditions. Like, I explained why I'm looking for a setup on gold. So if you're, like, looking at the market, literally step by step here, you could scalp, lock in on a chart, or you don't even have to lock in. You could use these levels to find one trade in a day, where maybe something lines up or you're going with the flow. Like could have been doing that the whole time instead of been looking for shorts, but I have kind of like a bigger picture in mind. If you're scalping, like I said, like take a chart, study this every day, study different times of the day and different trends, right? Mark every $5, like I kind of showed you guys before, and take different times of the day, like right now, and mark every $5 and just section it out. You don't have to do the entire chart. Like you could go down to like kind of maybe where a move starts from. You don't have to do the entire chart. Like we could just kind of look at this area, maybe go a bit lower. But to practice like scalping and maybe looking for quicker moves, mark every $5, right? And do this day by day. Like do this different practice day by day. You could do it for an hour a day, 30 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be like long hours doing it. Just be consistent doing it daily, because you get different market conditions you can do it on. You know, like different parts of the chart, different areas. So you'll train your eyes differently, right? You have like 5 days in the trading week, so you have different sections of the chart, different parts you might be doing it at. If you consistently do it on like a daily basis, versus just going to the chart one day and doing it a bunch of times at once or something like that. If you, even 1 hour a day, go to the chart, kind of like we're doing right now, and just mark the levels and study it, right? Study it out. Maybe even practice on a demo account, practice on a small account, right? Yeah, we're pushing up, looking bullish at the moment. Maybe an L day for me. Those happen. Like I say, they're normal. They're part of trading. We can't win without taking some L's as well. It's part of the game. You got to be willing to accept them. If it breaks above, like I said, for me, And validation would be if it breaks above like 3190, 3200 area. Could happen today. Said that before I even talked about the setup. Like it could break up. You know, find another setup after, like a recovery setup, maybe for tomorrow or later today. But what you could do is practice marking out every $5. Was really hoping that impact was gonna give us a dump, but didn't give me that. Still 9 o'clock, so we'll see what happens in the next hour. Probably gonna, like I said, I'm probably gonna hold for an hour or two, see what price does. Maybe it gives me a little bit of a push back down. So do it between like 1 minute, well, not 1 minute, don't start on 1 minute, do like 30 minute, 15 minute, 5 minute, and do it every day. I mean, I've done it every day for like over 8 years, so you see a lot in the repetition. It builds up, the hours build up, 1 hour a day even, that'll multiply, that'll compound. And yeah, if you're watching gold, if you're not in any trades watching gold, like I'm in this short, so I'm just managing that. I'm not looking for like a new trade right now. I don't want to over trade. Like I don't trade like that. If I'm in a trade, I'm gonna watch the trade, manage the trade until I think, okay, you know what, I'm gonna exit this trade with my loss, or this is the time to get out. I'm gonna manage the trade and not look at, okay, I gotta get out because what if it goes up right now? Like, oh, I'm gonna miss everything. No, I'll accept. Like if I see a setup, like I'll accept the L until like at a certain point of if like the market tells me, you know what, I'm wrong. Like this thing's not gonna drop. But like that's how I manage things. Like I'm not the type of person to be like, okay, I'll take the L, look for a trade right away right now, or I let the market just do its thing. But you can monitor gold this morning along the way up. Like you can see it's uptrending, literally just giving me that uptrend structure. So I'll probably just have to manage my trade and get out of it with a smaller loss if I can on those types of pullbacks. But you could probably watch the market if you're scalping with these $5 levels. Like it's creating a big uptrend at the moment. Like break and retest, you can see what it's been doing. You can study this yourself too. You can go to your gold chart, put these levels on your chart, and get an idea of what I'm talking about. Because a lot of times this is how I trade when I'm scalping the market, especially like throughout the weeks, throughout the days of the week. Like this is just one day when I'm like locked in at home and I'm flowing with the charts good. Like I'll scalp a lot with like this $5 levels. You can use them kind of as like reinforcements, support and resistance, like walls, barriers, that when you get above, you're looking for a retest. When you get above, you're looking for a retest. When you're getting above, potentially a retest. Getting above, potentially a retest. Like right now, you can see what's happening at this level. It's gotten above it, so it's maybe looking for a retest. If it goes up, the market maybe continues that same fashion, right, of what it's doing, like breaking above the levels, retesting. That's what they can be really good, really well and used for in like a market environment like this. Even though I'm in the sells, well, at least you can take away something here and learn. I'm still in my sells. Yeah. The day I get in sells, of course. The day I take sells. Like the day I actually see a good sell setup and I'm like, you know, I see a good sell setup on the chart that follows my strategy. No, not working for me. I guess I gotta just stick to the buys. I've been buying since Jane. That's like the first sell I've taken in a while too. We'll see what happens for me in the next couple of hours. But other setups, like it's only scalping, and scalping can be quick. I'm not scalping the market up here. Wish I was. Might have been able to capture some pip and dips if I was. Pretty much that's how you could watch the market and market like this. Like if this breaks above 31.90, possible retest, continuation. You can watch the market like that. I'm going to manage my trade. Try to see how I can get out. If market continues, you can try to go with the flow. 31.90 retest. But for the day, this is the only trade that sells that I'm in, or the only trade I'm going to take for the day. Looking like it's going to break maybe above 31.90. So I might Might get to that invalidation point in the next hour for me. Being transparent. Transparency at its finest. Still being transparent. Like every trade I take, when I take a live trade, I tell you guys. And there's a lot of trades I've called out. A lot of trades I call out live. And I did say proceed this one with caution, right? Of course, the day I get in sells. So yeah, the next setup, like for me, again, like you can look for scalping setups on your own. I just gave you guys a like good training on how you can look for those, right, on your own. As like I mentioned, if it gets above 3190, 3200, like it did to the left, that's the only next setup for me. I would have to get above there though. Right now, pretty much testing that area. I'm not trying to trade anything bullish through there or around there. I'll monitor this area, see what the market does, right? See what the market does. Damn, Jerome got me today. Of course, today I'm selling. Like I think like every day for the last month I've just been buying, and then today looking for sells. So it has to get above that area, like I mentioned, to the left. Today I hit the sells, and it's they're looking rough. They're looking rough. Hey, I still got time. It's only 9 o'clock. It's coming into 9:30. Got a nice little break and retest here happening. Maybe 9:30 reversals occur. Have to wait for like some 5-minute distribution. Nothing happening yet. Still just kind of uptrending. Who knows? Maybe a couple hours from now. We'll see. We'll see how market goes. Like I said, guys, basically, has like I'm just looking at what the market's done to the left, right? And for me to kind of be bullish, I'm trying to follow either this. So that's next setup. Above there. I don't see bullish setups here unless it's just like pip and dips, scalping. I teach a lot of that stuff, right? That's like a natural style for me on how I like really trade on my own. It's a style that if you can really learn, I teach it every week, right? We talk about a lot of concepts in my inner circle too, about scalping. Like if you're watching gold, like it's like the pip and dip or scalping style, right? I talk about it all the time. Man, gold doing me like that today. The day I enter a sell, of course. The day I enter a sell. I don't remember last time I took a sell. A little bit ago. Had to be a little bit. Had to be a while ago. Of course, I'm selling at the wrong point. It's a good setup. Like it's a setup that it's the type of setup I've taken. So just following my plan. If I saw a different setup, I would have posted it, just like I always do. So it's part of trading, guys. Like I say, it's part of trading. It's gonna be a part of trading. I'm here to show it. I'm here to show you guys that it's part of trading. There's big wins, there's big losses, there's small wins, small losses. Had my first 6-figure day the other day on a trade with crypto on Dog with Hat, Solana. So along the way, you're gonna have trades that are wrong. You're gonna have trades that are right. You gotta just kind of treat every trade the same. Form a bias. If you're wrong, you're wrong. When you're right, just make sure when you're right, it's more than when you're wrong. That's all that matters. Just make sure when you're right, it's more than when you're wrong. That's all that matters. But yeah, if you're gonna scalp gold, just keep an eye on the $5 levels, guys. If you're gonna scalp gold this morning, maybe look for a quick trade. Keep an eye on those $5 levels. You could use those for break and retests, like I was teaching all morning before this. Keep an eye on like those every $5 levels, because it looks like this thing wants to just keep breaking up. I'm probably gonna take my loss once this breaks up a little bit more. And what you can do, like, just keep an eye on those $5 levels. If it keeps breaking up, maybe go at the flow and look for those continuations. You could use $5 levels. Like it'll probably hit the $5 levels, bounce when it hits them, continuations. Or even if you don't catch a move and it breaks through one, you can look for continuation setups, like alternatives like this, right? But yeah, today for me, L day for me. It happens. It happens. $5. You could TP you could like use the levels to TP, take profit. Should have been scalping today like usual. You can use them like if you're entering at a $5 level, you can try to target the next $5 level. Ideally, maximum for scalping 50 pips. You don't want to do too big of a stop loss. Maximum 50 pips. I mean, you could even do like 25 pips on one. Like you could do like if you're looking for multiple entries. First entry 25 pips, next entry. But 50 pips like maximum range, I would say, for stop loss. I mean, because like it doesn't always just go over. Oh, come back for me, baby. Do that. Do your thing. Do your thing. Come back for me, baby. London bearish, New York bullish. I'd say 50 pips max. Because it might give you breathing room for a secondary entry. Like 50 pips is the next whole number. So if you're looking at, it's pretty far if you're looking at a 1 minute, 5 minute chart. Like it could go with that flow. Like how do you know if it's trending? It's like, well, it's usually you get a sensibility when it picks a direction like this. Like times of the day, it could just trend like how it's been for the last 4 or 5 hours. But you get that price action sort of on smaller time frames. Like right now, 31.90 might react quickly for bullish. Like that 31.90 area. You can see how 31.90 is here. It just broke above 31.90. It came really close to 31.95. Tapped it. So like in and out as it goes higher. Like here's 31.90. Like if I take this off real quick, the black line is 31.90. The day I sell, this is like my man. The day I sell. It's just like the way I'm used to buying too. Like I don't usually buy at like a higher point near resistance I see when I see a sell setup. So it is what it is. But like if you look at 31.90, I mean you could see kind of the price action that happened around it. Like here, some sort of rejections near it on the 1 minute, and then it broke above 31.90. If I put a line at 31.95. So yeah, it's trending bullish. Like it's trending bullish because my sell setup's not working. That's how we know. To be honest, like that's how we know, because I'm gonna hit stop loss. It's trending bullish. Because if I'm wrong, then it's like okay. Or I either got in early and it just holds on the bigger zone, right? Might have gotten early, but it looks like it's trying to break above that 31.90. Remember what I said? 31.90 to the left. Remember what I was saying? 31.90. So, like I said, like it invalidates it me and lets me know if it's bullish if it closes above like 31.90, 3200 strong, and it might be starting to do that for the day, as you can see. So how do you know it's trending bullish? Like we can look at the chart and see now, like it's trending bullish. Like it doesn't mean that the sell setup can't exist or a reaction can't happen, right, from what I saw. But goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. Like, if it's going to be bullish, I would wait for it to break up, maybe above 3190, 3200, right? Because then you could get like a retest of 3190, right? Because there's resistance there. So like I said, you could wait for all of that to even happen. Like, if it breaks above 3190, which it's doing, it's going to invalidate me soon, probably hit my stop loss. I don't know what. There's probably, you got to watch out for anybody who's promoting anything in the chat. They could be scammers. You gotta watch out for anyone. I don't know what that is. Yeah, anyone who might. You gotta watch out for anyone. I don't know. So I could pull back to 3190. Retest. There's the next setup now. Even a bit closer now, right? So there's your next setup. It might hit 3200. Like I said, there could be another setup after news. Like, you could wait 30 minutes, an hour after news, and maybe there's another setup. Like, you don't have to take the sells or look for the sells. That was a setup I was willing to take. Took the risk on. But now you're getting above that area, right? So you might tap 3200 here, react at 3200, break above 3200. Like I said, if it clears 3190, it's invalid for me, right? If it gets above 3190, 3200 area, I said it's going to be more invalid for me. So maybe there's a pullback to 3190 now. You could potentially watch for. See, that's why not 9:30, man. 9:30 is the time to jump on. That's why I stopped doing 7 a.m. I changed 7 a.m. We used to do 7 a.m., 7:30. I thought today, because Powell was speaking and there's news, I was like, I'm going to hop on early today. I'm going to stick to 9:30. I'm going to continue sleeping in. All right? I'm going to continue sleeping in. Got on early today. I thought today, Powell might have given a good setup here, but I was wrong. It happens. If you think I'm going to be right 100% of the time, guys, I'm not. So remember that. But yeah, like, basically gonna wrap it up for the day. Gonna take my L for the day. Let the market do its thing. If you're looking for a setup, like I said, it's doing one of the things I said could happen possibly today. So it's maybe going in that motion. Maybe it pulls back to 3190 and gives you that setup. It's at 3200 right now. I'm not gonna look for another re-entry. Gonna leave it at that for the day. But the next setup, maybe 3190 for pullbacks. 3190, possibly for pullbacks, continuations. Was hoping we were gonna get a bigger pullback here. Was wrong there. So market took me out. That's my wrecked for the day. Today, wrecked. It happens to the best of us. So it happens. It's trading for you, trading life. Bro, the day I go for a sell setup is the day I get wrecked on it. I'm laughing at myself now. Yeah, I wanted to come on earlier today because honestly, saw a sell setup. Just being as transparent. This is trading. Like, you're going to go through these types of things. So I'm not going to talk about the W's and highlight the W's and highlight the wins all the time and not also put attention to the losses as well. Because if you're going to take a loss, it's a loss, right? It's just like any other trade. Journal it. Review it. Understand what happened, what went wrong, what went right. That's what you do on every trade, right? Every trade setup you take, whether you're me, whether you're you see a trade setup, go for it, right? Maybe take action on it. But it's not about shunning the losses. The losses are going to happen in trading, right? Losses are going to naturally happen in the market. That's going to be a part of the game. But you don't look at those things like, oh my gosh, it's a loss. Oh, what happened? It's normal. It's a part of the game. But you can always look at, okay, what should I have done? What could I have done? Was the sells there? But I treat every setup the same in the sense of if I see a setup, I'm going to take it, right? I'm going to take my trade setup if I see one. But yeah, you guys saw me get wrecked there today on gold, live. But for the last couple of months, it's been steady buys. We've usually looked for buys. That was the first sell I looked for in a while. Kind of laughing at myself. Like, yeah, try to break above that 3190, maybe 3200 area. So kind of like I said when I got on, if you're able to get above there, clearly you could have some price action trade up more likely. As you can see again to the left. We'll revisit the charts later tonight. My setup didn't go as planned, so next setup I want to take my time to enter on. So yeah, we'll revisit the market tonight. But I gave you guys a pretty good rundown today of things that could happen. I mean, the first time it touches a whole number, it's likely to react. Like, they're very sensitive, right? You can go on a 5-minute chart, and they're sensitive. They're very sensitive. Like, price reacts at them naturally. I'd say, yeah, if you're touching like a price level 3 or 4 times, like 3 or more, 4 or more, then yeah, the weaker it becomes. It's kind of like a support level or a resistance level. Naturally, like, if you keep touching the same area multiple times, it can become weaker. So like, yeah, that, like in the sense of like regular support and resistance, the more times you touch a level, the weaker it can become, yes. Yeah, it looks like the market might be switching for that counter trend might break soon. Of course, right when I go to bearish, it's like I've been bullish. I've been bullish every single session until today. Come on, Evan. Disappointed in myself. Gonna go beat myself up after this one. Yeah, like wait for the break. Like wait for this to switch. We have another stream tonight and tomorrow, so continuations if anything. If we keep breaking up higher. Scalping can be quick. It can be in the moment. Like, I mean, depending on you have to be quick too. Like scalping, you got to be quick. Scalping, you got to be quick too. Like the reactions can happen. That's why, like, so if you mark every $5, put 3,200, like near, it doesn't have to touch the whole number either. Someone asked a question, like it can come little points off, a couple points off. Right? You may even a couple points off. Like if you're just gonna mark them, like it's different live. Like it's with how fast this moves. Like scalping, like you gotta just kind of be calm. Like I was in a big position there, so like I was just planning the day for one setup there, trying to see if it went on impact, but no. Like scalping, you want to be in a good, calm environment, natural kind of flow to the market because it can be quick, right? If the market's trending, it'll typically like flow how it's doing right now. You know, I went against the grain today, but you can still learn from this. And if the market's flowing like it is today, and like it was today, right? Naturally, those $5 levels can be used as like support and resistance, like along the way as it's flowing up. When the market first touches one of the levels, it can be sensitive, like it can react really quickly. But if you're just like looking at a 5-minute chart, and then you go to a 1 minute, you're gonna see, like, look at here for instance, 85. There's kind of more than one reaction at that price. It's on a 1 minute. It pulls back, goes up, pulls back. So like if you're looking at like literally a 1 minute, like the price can be like like look here at 31.90. It touches 31.89.75. Like it's super close. Like if you see like right here, it touches 31.89.91. So like very closely to, the market can be sensitive to reacting. Like if you're looking at 31.95, you can see very closely hit 31.95, and then it goes down to 31.90, and then 3200, same thing. So if it doesn't touch it, like it doesn't have to touch it 100%. Like it could be, this is like 3200 is the black line. That's why I'll put those green. So that's why I put those green zones around them. So the green little boxes, rectangles, that's why I'll put the green zones around them. Because like if you like 3200 is just kind of the middle point, right? It's just the price we mark. We can kind of create an area around that price. So you can see how it kind of goes into that. It touched 3199.86. So it's like, like if it's that close, you still consider it pretty much touched, right? So like when it comes down to it, as close to or even at the whole number, like if you go back down here, so for the zone, like if you look here, for instance, see how it came really close to 31.95 right here. Really, really closely to 31.95 in the green zone, kind of like it's a little bit in the green. But look at 31.90. See how it's like fully in the green at 31.90. So that's like why I'll put the green little rectangles around, kind of to create an area. That's like, okay, it's still in the area, it could still hold. Because if you go to, what was it down here at, which one was it? I think it was at 65. Back down here, 65. I'm going to go back to it. But just even in front of us, see the 1 minute, you'll get pretty quick. Like if you're looking at a small time frame, 5 minute and 1 minute together, like a lot of times the minute you touch price, it can react really quickly. Maybe a couple pips. Those could turn potentially into these types of moves right here, where it goes up from one to another, like that move, where it can react quickly in a matter of minutes, where you can get in and out. Especially if you're prepared. So let's say if it gets above 3200, let's just say, like if it goes above 3200, you could potentially even watch and see if it reacts there. That would be maybe forward thinking. It might be able to do that. Yeah, them gold sells didn't happen today. Darn me. It's 9:30. So you could kind of forward think. If you know you're in an uptrend or the market's uptrend, you could think kind of ahead of time. What's Oanda look like? You could kind of think like, okay, if it gets above this level, I'll look for a retest. Watch the 1 hour. Like, what if the 1 hour flips on this thing? Yeah, 4 hour came up. I'll be back on later. I'll have to remark up some charts. Market didn't hold my sell zone, unfortunately. You'd have to break and close, like really break and close above here. Pretty much like try to replicate like what it did to the left here. That might be maybe tonight or tomorrow, or going into next week. You'd have to get that. For it to go above. 15-minute pin bar, hit 3200. Swept the lows, the highs. It took out the highs. Only other thing is it took out these highs, so it grabbed liquidity, right? So if it's like a recovery setup, it would, it just hit 3,200. If the 1 hour or the 4 hour flips back below 3,190, then it could still hold this area. It still hasn't like fully broken above this area that I see. It's an interesting position gold's in right now with structure and everything. When will I do tonight? I could do a training tonight on it. Tonight we'll be back on in 12 hours. This weekend, Inner Circle, I'll do a lot of trainings on that topic this weekend. I mean, yeah, like really all you got to do, well, like the white chart, black chart, there's like I just like kind of like the different colors at times. Doesn't matter. Take different parts of the chart, and I mean you could just start on a 1 hour or even a 5 minute. Even just don't trade it. Maybe for a time of the day, watch. You don't have to trade it. You can, like I'm on the black chart right now, so red lines look better on this. Like, I mean, you don't even have to like actually trade it to kind of learn and get an idea. Like you could watch the market some days and just maybe plot them on the chart every $5. Like to get it, because remember, like I used to do this, man, I used to do this every day, hours, still do, right? And it's just, a lot of it's just become natural to me at times where I got really good at analyzing and trading because of just doing this type of stuff. You don't even have to trade it. I got really good at studying and understanding price by watching. Not even always trading it, but just kind of sitting there. Maybe you have other things you can multitask and do while you're watching. Like you don't have to just be there glued. You can just kind of watch how price flows through the numbers. Certain days. I like the white chart stands out pretty clean, right? But if you literally maybe start at a point like today, day by day, you don't have to trade. Like you could even practice on a demo account if you think like, man, there's a lot, because there's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. Like it's a lot of the same stuff. Like you got to kind of just, it's a lot of repetition of the same thing. It's not a lot of stuff, but like it can look different, and I think it's a lot of repetition of the same thing. Because there's a lot of $5 levels. So it might seem overwhelming. It might be like, whoa, there's a lot of $5 levels. Which ones do I use? It might seem kind of overwhelming at first. So it might seem kind of like a lot, right? At first. So it's a good study every day to just kind of sometimes even just sit there and watch. If you have time for a couple of hours to watch the flow of price, like mark the levels and honestly just watch like what I mean by the flow of price is how it trades in and out of them. What happens when it goes above one? What happens when it breaks one? Does it come back and retest? Watch it when the market's kind of uptrending. Watch them when the market's downtrending. You don't even have to trade in. You could even trade on a demo account, but you know, when you're taking those trades on the demo account, you have real reason why you're taking the trades and trying to test the accuracy for yourself of hold numbers, get those reactions, get used to that reaction happening, how it happens, the feeling of it. You could even do it on a demo, but it's good to do kind of like some study, some practice every day. At least like if you're going to trade a demo account, if you're going to trade on a demo, don't trade random. Like try to take entries for a reason, at a whole number, following a strategy. Trends can happen on a 5 minute, 1 minute chart. Like you can have trends on a 5 minute chart. So like this has been trending And you can see some of these whole numbers have been holding. So like mark these on your chart and see what happens when price trades above them or through them. Do they act like a resistance? Does it pull back to one? Kind of think of them as like a floor underneath you, right? Support underneath you, that when the market gets above, like you could even eventually you'll get to the point where you do stuff like this where you're like, okay, if it gets above here, I'll look for a retest. Eventually, like by spending enough time, you'll be able to just do kind of stuff like that where you forward think of like, okay, if it gets above this level, I can look for this retest. Eventually, with enough time spent, like some consistent time spent, you'll be able to mark the chart in the sense of like, okay, let me look for a break and retest above here or a break and retest above here, and get an idea of like that could happen. Have some anticipation. That's what they help with. They give you some anticipation because it's like if you're on the chart and maybe you're seeing that price broke above a level, it gives you good anticipation to, okay, maybe it comes back to that level and I look for a retest. Damn you, gold. You got me today. Yeah, like I'm not used to losing trades. Especially I'm not used to losing trades in general, especially like even on the live streams. Gotta get used to it. So I gotta get used to. Hope crypto's going up. Is crypto going up? There's sometimes never that balance of like, it's like one day crypto pumps. Oh no, crypto even kind of, yeah, a little pump here. Yeah, still like near all-time highs on Bitcoin. Crazy. It's pretty crazy. If you're in Inner Circle, I'll like check out the crypto news. Maybe some stuff to pay attention to. I posted yesterday. If you're in Inner Circle, where was that? Check that out. If you're in Inner Circle and you're in the crypto sections, check it out. Some of the stuff I posted yesterday. We'll talk more about that on the weekend. Damn you, gold. Yeah, 31.90. Like if you're looking at it, it's trending. Like market's trending. It could keep going up. Like this is that stage, kind of like you can go with the flow, like or try to go with the flow. Like look what just happened at 31.90. There was a quick tap off it. Market moves like $3. Maybe that and these levels can help with like trend continuation. If market's just going like this. I don't know if gold gives a drop for the day. It's all I see is this right now. All I see is either drops or breaks and retests. Not gonna look at the smaller time frames because don't want it to kind of interfere here with my just analysis here. That kind of key area. When you're looking at small time frames, you gotta go to like a 5 minute and a 1 minute and really trust those price levels for reactions. Like kind of like I've been mentioning all stream, like if you just watch them. And yeah, I know I've missed some trades, but it's because of my day. It wasn't a scalping day for me. It was I had a setup, went for that setup. Yeah, I know there's been some reactions that maybe could have been caught and stuff like that. I get it. I know, but today, we'll talk about today. And this is 95. Oh, even just here. So I'm on a 5 minute right now. Small time frame. It could be a lot in the moment, and I mean, you might get good at this to the point where you can glue yourself to the chart and catch every reaction, whether it's sells or buys, because there is some sells The only sells that really happen are kind of at the whole numbers. You can see 3170, 3180, 3185, 3200. You can see there's buys at 3165, close to 3175, 3180, 3180, 3190. If we're gonna look at a 1 minute, we might see some on like the 1 minute too. Like if we're going to a 1 minute, we can see here reaction. We can see some price action on the 1 minute. So if we're looking at a 1 minute, we can even see there as well. So literally, like what I just did, like take the chart and do what I just did, like day by day, and study this, watch it. I did say it could maybe break above 3190, retest it. See, that would have been the setup. That was the setup to wait for this morning. Instead of the sells, should have went for the sells. Should have just New York. That's why I've been noticing. That's why I changed the schedule to 9:30 a.m. because I've been noticing like coming on a bit later is a bit better. Yeah, like so. At certain points, price might be higher. Like if you remember when price was up here, or around up there, I was saying it could possibly come back to 3190 and retest. Or even like you could see 3195. Price comes back to 3190, retests it. Then it goes to 3200, comes back, retests it. So stuff like that, right, can occur in your uptrends or trending environments. Pullbacks with gold, it respects the pullbacks a lot when it picks the direction. But you can use the whole numbers, every $5 pretty much as a grid. Yeah, if you're in my inner circle, go check out the crypto news I posted yesterday and the stuff about crypto. I'm going to be back on later tonight or maybe this afternoon to do a quick update. We'll see. We'll see where gold's at. Maybe in a few hours or tonight. We'll check back up on it. Tonight I'll be back on 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So a little bit under like 12 hours from now. Well, yeah, 12 hours from now I'll be back on. Right now it's 9:40 a.m. So I'll be back on 9:30 p.m. Gonna leave it at that for the day and probably revise and look for another setup tonight, a different setup tonight. But you can watch these levels, like they can give you anticipation. If price pushes up, you have some anticipation like, okay, let me wait for it to pull back to 3,200. That's what they're really useful for. At certain points when you're on the chart and you've seen enough movements and pullbacks to them. Yeah, I've seen this type of price action a lot. Didn't capitalize on it today though, but it is what it is. Tonight I'll be back on, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up for the morning. Started a bit earlier today, but wanted to be on early for the news in case it had some impact. I saw a setup, so it would have, with the setup that I saw, it lined up. You know, there's news coming up. I'm like, okay, if there's a setup here, the news might be lining up for the setup that I see. So I did want to check it out. But yeah, we're going to wrap it up for the morning. I'm going to be on later. I'll keep you guys posted in Discord. If you guys haven't watched all the videos in the inner circle yet, try to watch them, try to get through them because there's a lot more videos coming this month. There's a good amount already there. But yeah, we'll be back on tonight. Like I said, like only things I would see for gold, like bullish, is getting above here, kind of like what happened to the left, looking for that retest. Or on smaller time frames, like playing it how I just trained you guys for a little bit on the $5 levels, you'd have to wait basically for just more trending movement up, and maybe there's one pullback similar to what we just seen. If I see anything towards the end of London, like next time I'm going to look at the charts is in like 3 hours or so, end of London. I'll keep an eye on it. If I see anything closer to like end of London, I'll let you guys know. Still in that zone though, still in that area. Still below 3,200. 31.90. Still kind of in that area. Still hasn't broken above, but showing signs like it may want to break above and do something like this at that area. If the 1 hour flips, maybe the 1 hour can form a pin bar. So we're still below here, so keep an eye on price. I'm gonna wrap it up for the morning. We've been on for about 2 hours. We'll be on later tonight. If you're scalping, you don't need to use, the reason, like when I swing trade or look for day trades, I'll use bigger stop losses so I don't have another trade to take, so many other trades to take. Scalping, there can be another trade shortly after. So like with scalping on like a 5 minute, there could be short trades, quick trades. And gold 30-minute rejecting now. They're starting to get a bit of rejection, but you would need the 1 hour. If it's gonna go bearish, the 1 hour would need to flip. The 1 hour would need to turn into like a pin bar if it's gonna go bearish. It would need to like flip on the 1 hour. Yeah, you need like a 1 hour flip if it's gonna go like bearish. It could possibly reject. Time will tell. Like, you see this area that I marked? See the left? Like it possibly could still, right? If it wants to hold that like even on a 1 hour. The 1 hour, because the 1 hour has a wick on it. I assume we're gonna wrap it up. Just finishing up here. The 1 hour has a top wick on it, forming 9:30. Maybe midday reversals. You can see like if we were to if we were to invert this, like invert the chart, what does that look like? Like this is the chart upside down, opposite. Looks like a big break and retest happening all here, right? I don't know if you guys kind of see it. I just flipped the chart upside down, if that makes sense. It's called inverting it. Either on trading, I'll show you. If you click on the scale, this will help you see bearish and bullish sometimes like differently, help train your eyes. Yeah, if you go to like this, the price scale, you can invert the scale. And basically what that does is inverts the scale upside down, the price chart upside down, the other direction. So that can give you a different view of basically ultimately like the same thing, right? So when you look at this, kind of like how I'm showing it inverted upside down, like this is bearish. This is, I mean, normal. This is normal right here. Not bearish. This is normal. You can see that zone there to the left. It's like that whole previous support, right? We have like a big support here in the market. If I invert the scale, you get the opposite view of that. Basically like kind of the same thing, but flipped upside down there. When you're like studying the charts, that can help when you're looking at different phases, accumulations as well. Train your eyes, see different things. Yeah, we'll see. Like the only thing would be if the 1 hour flips bearish. If this wick, like if this candle or like some of the next, like you create a candle like this that's kind of forming but bearish, like a top wick, small body, but bearish, and gets like a bearish close, that could be a sense of this like flipping. If the 1 hour, 4 hour closes bearish in this area, or even the 2 hour, you would need like that. This is a 30-minute, but like if the 1 hour could flip bearish in here, like form a big, like it's formed a top wick, that would be like the only thing that keeps maybe that rejection in that area alive. but you have to keep an eye on that. It would depend on the 1 hour. The 1 hour would need to flip. There's a top wick forming on this 1 hour. So if this candle or even the next candle can reject similar to that, then it could potentially make its way down to like 31.80. Like 31.75. Otherwise, just wait. Try to wait and see if price can mimic what it did to the left there. How it broke above, retested. It still didn't break that area. Like it's trying to come back below it from the looks of it. If the 1 hour especially flips, it'll be interesting to see how this candle closes or the next couple candles on the 1 hour. But same thing. Still, all I see really for the day. Like I know the price is above my entries that I had. When you look at the bigger picture, not a lot changed. If it's gonna reject this area, it potentially could. Still something to keep an eye on. Otherwise, it's, you know, what you have to the left here. I'll be on later though, guys. About 12 hours from now, I'll be back on. I'll see everybody then. Be sure to hop on. We're gonna go over some good stuff on that session. It'll be more of a training session, depending on how the market looks, but we'll be going over some information and training tonight on tonight's session. We're gonna wrap it up though. I'll see everybody on the next session or tomorrow. We got Inner Circle. On Inner Circle, I'll be live Saturday and Sunday. So every Saturday and Sunday, for those that are in my Inner Circle, I do live sessions. So this weekend as well, remember, every single Saturday and every single Sunday, I go live inside my Inner Circle at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. Those are always good sessions. We talk a lot about crypto. There's been plenty of sessions where we've talked about just gold and gold training and potential setups for the week even. There's been plenty of sessions since like February. We've ran down at those sessions. But every Saturday and Sunday I'll be in Inner Circle. It's just scalping. For those of you guys that are asking for anything like near here, you just kind of what I ran down. Like watch your whole numbers and see if those respect price, if you can find any reactions at the whole numbers. Every $5. If you watch price long enough, like something can line up. It doesn't have to be the first thing you see. If you do watch price long enough, it could maybe it continues a trend, right? Like if you watch it long enough, there may be something that lines up around those whole numbers. But I'm out. We'll be on later. I'll see everybody next session. Be sure to plug in. It'll be a good session. Got a lot that I'm going to be going over.